I'm sprinting down the rain-slicked edge of Highway 41, my toddler son pressed tight against my chest, his little arms locked around my neck. Headlights flash past, horns blare, and every step feels like the last one I'll ever take. Then brakes scream, my older brother's battered pickup fishtails to a stop right in front of me. He leaps out, face ashen, scanning the empty road behind us. "Sarah, where's your damn car?" I lock eyes with him and let the truth I've buried for nearly a year rip free. "Ethan took the keys. He says I'm too unstable to be behind the wheel. Drop a comment below. Tell me the city you're in and what time it is right now. I need to know who's out there walking this road with me." Inside the truck, the heater blasted warm air, but it couldn't touch the chill that had settled in my bones. Mason fell asleep in his car seat almost instantly, cheeks flushed, safe for the first time in forever. My brother, Jack, kept his gaze fixed on the blacktop, knuckles white on the steering wheel. "How long has this been going on?" 10 months, I breathed. "Pretty much since Mason's first birthday." He exhaled hard. "Why the hell didn't you call me?" "Because it never looked dangerous from the outside, Jack. That's the genius of it." I stared at the passing guardrails. It started with concern. Ethan's mom, Diane, showed up with homemade soup, saying, "You look dead on your feet, Sarah. Let me stay over and help with night feedings." I was running on fumes, so I said yes. Then Ethan took the checkbook. "You're too overwhelmed with the baby. I'll handle the money so you can rest." I was drowning, so I thanked him. The highway blurred outside the window. It crept up degree by degree. Diane moved into the basement apartment for convenience. Then she rearranged my fridge, lecturing me about organic everything. She began auditing my grocery lists, crossing out anything unnecessary. When I objected, Ethan told me I was overreacting, that I had severe anxiety after the birth. Every time I questioned why our emergency fund was suddenly in an account I couldn't touch, he'd shake his head and say I was spiraling again. Jack's voice dropped low. "Did any doctor actually say that?" "Ethan did. Constantly. And they started checking my phone to protect you from toxic content," he claimed. "They read every message, followed my location. I stopped reaching out to you because they always knew when I was upset. I thought if I could just stay calm enough, they'd eventually trust me again." Jack eased the truck onto the shoulder and cut the engine. He turned to me, eyes burning with a quiet fury I'd only seen a handful of times in his 20 years as a corrections officer. "This isn't concern, Sarah. This is a textbook power grab. They cut you off, took your tools, and locked the doors. We're going back." Fear clawed up my throat. "Jack, I don't think I can face them." "We're not going for coffee," he said, shifting into gear. "We're going to load your stuff and your son into this truck. You're never walking that highway again." The modern farmhouse glowed under security lights when we rolled up the long driveway. Ethan and Diane sat on the porch swing, sharing a bottle of red, looking every bit the perfect in-laws. Their smiles faltered when they saw us. Jack walked straight up the steps. I followed, Mason heavy in my arms. Diane recovered first, voice syrupy. "Sarah, honey, you're back. And you brought company." Jack didn't blink. "Where are her car keys?" Ethan stood, smoothing his sweater, all practiced calm. "We were worried about her, Jack. She's been fragile lately. We took the keys to keep her and Mason safe." I stepped into the light. "I'm not fragile. I'm finished. I'm taking my son and leaving." Diane gave a brittle laugh. "Leaving? With what resources, sweetheart? No savings, no vehicle, no real plan. We're the ones holding everything together because you're clearly not equipped." Jack planted himself between us. "You aren't holding anything together. You're holding her captive. Hand over the keys. Now." Ethan crossed his arms. "This is my property. My vehicle. She walks out that door, fine, but the boy stays." The night seemed to hold its breath. Jack took one measured step forward. "Prevent a mother from leaving with her child and you're looking at felony restraint. Withholding personal property. File a false police report claiming abduction. That's another charge. Want me to recite the statutes?" Diane's hand hovered over her phone. I didn't wait for permission. I pushed past them and ran upstairs, grabbing a suitcase, diapers, clothes, anything that mattered. Jack stood sentinel at the door, a solid wall. In the nightstand, I retrieved the envelope I'd hidden for months, photos of bank transfers, forged signature pages, text screenshots of Ethan and Diane plotting how to keep me stable. I hadn't just endured. I'd collected evidence. Jack saw the envelope when I came down. Something shifted in his expression, regret mixed with respect. You were ready. I was waiting for an exit that wouldn't cost me my son. We walked out together. Diane's voice cracked behind us, threatening to call authorities. Jack didn't turn. Call them. Tell them a mother is escaping financial abuse and fraud. I'd love to hear how that conversation goes. The drive back to Jack's place felt endless and brand new at once. 3 months later, I turned the key in the lock of my own small apartment. The settlement check sat on the counter, restitution for the stolen savings, the forged loan, the sold minivan. Ethan faced wire fraud charges. My name was slowly being scrubbed from the bad debt. I wasn't thankful for the cage. I was proud I'd learned to pick the lock. Where are you right now? What time is it where you are? Drop it in the comments. I see you, and you're not alone.